Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, Fabian.
Hi, Keshin. Nice to see you.
So today, I want to talk about the teaching of the oceans, right? We can find teaching anywhere, right? So I just happen to be living on the ocean quite a lot lately, on a little boat. And then we would take another little boat out fishing or just for a day trip. And what I found learning being on the ocean is a lot of things. For example, you need to learn about the wind, right? The wind direction, so that when it changes, you get out of there because it's getting dangerous. Like the wave is getting bigger and the wind is increasing, so it's quite dangerous. Yeah, we got caught once or twice, and it's really scary riding home. Like, you're talking
Mhm,
about wave that big, and your little boat is so can, if you don't know how to ride your little boat, you can tip over. So
mhm,
uh, So, so on the surface of the ocean, when you start seeing ripples, that's when it means there is a change of direction, right? So there's all these signs that you learn when you're on the ocean, live on the ocean. And I was thinking, contemplating, that is like us. The wind is like our feelings, right? So when we tune into our body, that's why it's so important to tune into our body regularly during the day, to know the landscape of our body, to know what's our muscles doing, what's our feeling, and how is our state of mind. So when it changed, something happened, and then it changed, uh, like there is this intensity or tension in the tummy, and we feel a bit uncomfortable. That's the first sign, right? That something is triggering our stress point. And that's the and we are being pressed, right? Our button has been pressed, or we going into some kind of programming or beliefs. And yeah, so if we learn to learn the ripples of our body and the ripples of our feelings, then we're more equipped to 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 respond rather than react to people, situations, or stressful environment. So that's one of thing that I want to cover. Another one is, most of the time it's quite calm, right, where we live. It's it's beautiful. Australia coast is very beautiful and clean blue sky. Um, but we know underneath, like if you go diving, there's all these corals, right? And all this landscape and all this world with fishes and sharks and dolphins and seals and of course fishes. That we don't see when we stand or when we on the boat on top of the surface of the ocean. And that's equivalent to our mind, right? Our mind, if we are for an average person, what we are conscious of is very little, right? Just the little things that you see on the top of the wave. But underneath our unconsciousness, or if we are not aware, there's this whole world of belief systems, everything that we know, or that everything that we are is being taught to us, being conditioned, right? So we might think that we are individual, but I don't think so. I don't think anybody is an individual, right? Because everybody come from somewhere. And then but when our program is being triggered, or our personality comes through, then we know that whatever under the ocean is rising up the consciousness. So that's one observation I observe in living on the ocean. And another thing is, I want to talk about constructs, right? So there's lots of ships and boats, and on the coast there'll be buildings and hotels and cars, right? Those are all man-made constructs, right? And we have construct too, right? Our personality is constructs, our sense of self is construct, our ego is construct, and our time is construct. All these beliefs and thinking pattern and ideas are all constructs. And the thing is, sometimes if we are not aware, we identify with all these constructs. You know, I am my car, I am my boat, I am my building, I am it's like I am the teacher, I am the mother, I am the father, I am the woman, I am the man. So we believe in that, we identify with that. And when we do that, we're limited, right? We be limited to those programs, to the condition and parameters of those programs. But if we recognize construct for what it is, it's just the roles that we are in order to be functional and relatable in our social environment, in dealing with people. So it doesn't mean that we are fake, right? Actually, if we are conscious of the role that we are, I think we do better, right? If we are conscious, say if we are the parents, then I think we are better parents than an unconscious parent, right? Because an unaware parent would repeat the pattern of previous generations. But an aware parent, even though you're aware that this is a construct or a role that you are adopting, you'll be better parents because you don't want to be the replaying and repeating what the previous generation is doing. Yeah. Do you have any questions? So that's just roughly covering the 3 teachings of the ocean.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I mean, I'm not living close to the ocean, unfortunately, but I do know what you mean, and it was perfectly illustrated and very picturesque how you explained the 3 different similes to us. And yeah, so I wanted to just maybe just like from a second simile, how you said that there's in the depth of the mind there's so many things which we are very maybe unknown of and unfamiliar with maybe, and actually the thought came up that it might be even something beautiful, or it might be very scary, like, you know, sharks and creatures and
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
but it can be like really nice coral and beautiful
Sure.
things. And I was just thinking, yeah, like going into meditation and you sit, and then basically you find access, you go into the diving gear, so to speak, and you basically go down, and you not know yet what's gonna come, right? What's going to be expected, what the mind, the inner world is going to show you. So it might be great meditative experiences, and even more depth into your heart, but also it can be very scary. Yeah,
Mm.
I was just thinking that might
Yeah.
occur.
Very good point that you add that one, because I was thinking our potential, right? Our potential is huge, right? In Christianity, there is a saying that God made man in his image, right? It's very true in the sense that our potential is very godlike, in the sense that we have the qualities of heavenly qualities, right? Not just the qualities, but we can enter heaven when we are meditating, and our mind can be that pure, and our mind, our consciousness can expand like the universe, and we can enter the universe, and we can be the universe, right? Um, if we can learn to transcend our body, right, this vessel, and dive deep into the ocean, right? Be courageous, be brave, but at the same time be cautious, because you don't know what unknown territory we're entering, and have a guides. So with that combination of awareness and guides and honesty and all that, we can dive deep and explore our potential, and be that potential, and reclaim that potential. So it's not like superstition, it's not fantasy, it's not imagination. Yeah, I just want to add that too.
Yeah, beautiful you're saying that, and because that gave another thought, the rising. So actually, all of the three similes you just brought up actually can be connected together, right? Because if you know the ripples, say the mind, the mood, the feelings, you can adjust so that you're not gonna be caught by a wave, and you whatever,
Yeah.
sinking and drowning and what in your emotion and stuff. So also that is not only important in daily life, but also important in if you want to sit down and meditate. So you have to know what kind of meditation is the best you can do right now, and how your mind is, the quality of your mind is, right? So and that comes to the second simile, which you then know, okay, if you have found the right way to adjust to the ripples, you can then dive deeper and deeper. And but that only is possible if you think about the third simile. If you sort of dismantle, maybe and actually you go deeper and deeper if you dismantle your beliefs, and you don't follow your belief systems too much, right? And the distorted view you might have, like you
Mm,
said before, this constructed way of living, right? The belief systems, the
mm,
all that, and that's very small, maybe narrow-mindedness of the world, actually,
mm,
right? So
mm.
yeah, it just came up. Maybe that's completely nonsense. Yeah,
That's okay. I
just
wouldn't
saying.
I wouldn't use the word dismantling the belief system. I would use the word aware, and be conscious, and
Mm,
just know what it is. For example, if you're gonna pick up a knife, then you pick up a tool, and you're gonna use it for its purpose, and you leave and you put it down when you finish using it. The same with belief system, the same with personalities, the same with the self, the same with everything that is construct and in the mind. As long as we are conscious, and we know what is the purpose that we are adopting, or putting on that role, or putting on that personalities, or putting on that beliefs, then we can be within the world and not of the world. We can fit in perfectly, be functional, be relatable, be compassionate, empathy, and all that, but not of it. not be overwhelmed by it, not be not identified and relate and believe that that is all us. So belief system and all these that is in our mind have a purpose, as long as we know that they are tools and they have a purpose, and put it down when we finish using them.
Yes, that's totally correct. Yeah, I've just found it nice listening to you how you came up with that similes, right? How the Buddhists call it Dhamma, that the true knowledge and wisdom comes up by just observing life around us, right? And yeah, I think the
Yeah,
ocean is it's a
yeah.
very good metaphor, right? Because it can be very calm and then it can be very destructive, and so is the mind. It can be very nice and peaceful, and whatever happens in that day, you're totally fine. But then in other days, the mind can be
Mm,
super furious, and you don't know why you're in that
mm,
mood. And just the slightest thing can sort of,
mm,
crush you.
mm.
Yeah. So,
I think
no,
you
that's
technical.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Talking about that. Yeah. You don't hear me?
You're lagging a little bit.
Okay. I hope it gets better.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So what you're saying is also um, so if you live anywhere, the nature can teach you, right? Is that also another statement you might have or might say?
Yeah. I used to live in the bush. I used to have my own
Okay.
bush property, and I live in the monastery quite a lot. So the bush have its own teaching too. And yeah, I might cover the teaching of the bush next time.
Yeah, that's a very nice series. So we covered the teachings of the ocean today, and yeah, maybe we just go with the nature flow, and yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Yeah, I'm just thinking about any question, but I'm very baffled by this great yeah, teaching of the ocean. And yeah, I mean, I also had these experiences of like having meditation, and it was very beautiful. And I could literally feel how I go deeper and deeper, and how things got more intense also, right? And then all of a sudden, and it was so peaceful, and then very strong picture of a bad situation happened in the past, which is long gone, but apparently it was subconsciously there, and it all of a sudden, like right in front of my face, and I'm like have to deal with anger, or have to deal with this situation which is not relevant to the present moment at all, but it was just there. So yeah, with the second simile I could very good identify myself with, because yeah, so that happened, and you don't know what kind of creature you have to face, right?
Yeah.
So
So yeah, so basically what happened to you is trauma of the past that you haven't dealt with and haven't processed. When you meditate, it have a time it arises, and that's the beauty of meditation. It allows the past to come up, so that it doesn't rule us anymore. It doesn't have as much of a grip. So the trauma that we experienced, that we were
yes.
that we wasn't able to cope and process in the past because we were small, but now we are adult and we're sitting there, and the trauma come up, we can process it, we can experience it, we can feel it, we can observe what's happening. Yeah, so that's the beauty also of meditation.
Yeah, exactly that happened then, because after that, this this problem never seemed to be a problem anymore for me. So yeah, so sometimes it's a bit scary to face things which doesn't play a role apparently in our life anymore, but subconsciously it does or did, and then it comes up, and then you sort of release it, like you're validating it by understanding, okay, it is now there, it can be there, and okay, but you also can pass. So I'm not restricting and I'm pushing it away. So yeah, so yeah, that happens if one dives down deep down into the ocean of the mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the more we dive, the more we relieve, so the more the unconscious become conscious, right? So that it doesn't act on us unconsciously. So we don't have all these mood that we don't understand, or all these depression just arises that you out of the blue that you don't know. That's
Yes.
because of the trauma that was just laying there, acting on us unaware. So when you meditate and you have a deep dive into your ocean, and you give those trauma experience some consciousness, then it's act on you less.
Yes, I'm thinking, and I'm thinking that you are more in power of your own life then, right? Because that programs doesn't run you as much anymore as before, right? So you're more maybe aware and present, and you just know more about, I don't know, reality, and then sort of old programs are running you.
Oh, the more you are aware, or the more that we are aware of things as they are, like constructs, the surface of the ocean, the ripples, and what under the oceans, and and um and what is happening to the our body, and our feeling and our thoughts. The more we are aware, of course, the more we are empowered, and we have choices, and we are more conscious, and we live more each moment, instead of letting each moment unconsciously just drift, just fade past us, and then we like, where's the time gone? That is what
Mm-hmm.
happened when we are unconscious. Time just seems
Yes.
gone.
Yeah, and I mean that should be a big motivation for people just to try it out, and to I mean it's also nice to like cruise on the surface, like like surfers do, and you surf one wave after the next, and you wait for the next wave to come, and if no wave is coming, everything is boring. But yeah, it might be nice and be worth a try to just yeah, get into a different gear, not surf the wave, but yeah, actually going deeper and try out meditation, and see what benefits it has actually.
Mm, yeah. Well, those moments that we call boring is actually very precious, because those are our break, our holidays. We should really enjoy it between the storm. Um, but if we are not conscious of what's happening, then we would it would seem as though it is boring, because nothing is happening. But nothing is happening is peaceful. Nothing is
Yes,
happening.
that's right. It's
Ah,
yeah, I always had the feeling that like boredom is just so neutral, but the thing is, why is it negative, is because we are adding thoughts of
we're
negativity to it, right?
labeling.
We're labeling. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's another, maybe a really big topic to cover, is to label, to be careful what we label, because what we label, we add the flavor, or we distort the reality of what is actually happening. Yeah, so boredom is not really boredom at all. Boredom is very peaceful.
Yeah, maybe we should cover that next time, like maybe boredom and labeling.
Yeah,
like beside the bush, sort
the
of
bush,
thing.
the teaching of the bush.
So we so we might do that next time. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, I have no more questions about that topic. But yeah, maybe we just talk about the bush next time, and then we cover the boredom in later time. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, yeah. Okay. So nice to see everybody, and thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
See ya, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.